Coming up on the March 4th edition of Sports Extra, Florida State came to the Dean Dome only to get tomahawk chopped by the Tar Heels.
And it's rivalry week, but UNC didn't get off to a strong start. We ventured into Cameron Indoor for the women's basketball rematch.
And he's overcome more obstacles than just the high jump bar. We'll share one Tar Heels inspiring success story. Sports Extra starts
right now.
From the University of North Carolina School of Journalism and Mass Communication, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics, this is Sports Extra.
A team that once looked like it might not even make the NCAA tournament now might make some noise in the big dance. Hello and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Will Reimer.
And I'm Madison Way. A lineup change has made all the difference for the surging Tar Heels. Going small is paying big dividends for the men's basketball team. The latest victim, Florida State. Sophomore forward James Michael McAdoo led all scorers with 21 points and was active on both ends of the floor, getting the steal and dunk on display. He was throwing it down all day long. Football coach Larry Fedora must have liked the fast break attack as he cheered from the risers. Just look at that blue hair. Junior forward Reggie Bullock rarely missed from the field Sunday. He added a double-double with 20 points and 10 rebounds. Head coach Roy Williams liked the team's intensity as they played throughout the game.
Our toughness is getting better, and that's probably not the right word. I'll still go back to the phrase, a sense of urgency of everything that we're doing is the way we've got to play every game.
4. That's the number of three-pointers P.J. Hairston hit against Florida State Sunday. It's the 6th time he's made at least 4 threes in a game. Making threes is nothing new for the sophomore sharpshooter. In fact, Hairston has made at least 1 three-pointer in 26 straight games, the longest streak in the ACC. The last time Hairston didn't make a three, the very first game of the season against Gardner-Webb, all the way back on November 9th. In the past 26 games, Hairston's made 60 three-pointers.
Hairston's on fire, and so are the Heels. They've won 5 straight, 4 of them by double digits, including the 21-point drubbing against the Seminoles. So can Tar Heel fans say national championship yet?
Not so fast. The Heels definitely still have some things where they can improve. The past 5 wins have been relatively easy for the Heels, but Roy Williams says his team isn't as tough as it needs to be.
We're not going to win many brawls. You know, we're basketball players and we're cute and all that kind of stuff.
The team features a guy that's 6'5" at the power forward position. So P.J. Hairston says the Heels need to focus on their intangibles.
Just playing together and playing with heart and playing smart. Those are the 3 main things that we can do to be a great team.
The players know it hasn't always been easy, but Marcus Page is focused only on getting better.
We've taken a lot of great strides these last couple weeks through ACC play, and we still have a lot of room to go. But with the improvement that we hopefully can keep building on, there's no telling what this team will be able to do.
The Heels traveled to College Park to take on Maryland on Wednesday, but the real test will be on Saturday, where the Heels host the Blue Devils. The team was improved on paper, but are the Heels really a new team? Joining us now to discuss are Julian Caldwell and Mike Rodriguez. So, Julian, have the Heels turned the corner?
Will, I think you definitely said they turned a corner with 5 straight wins, and yesterday's win against Florida State being a big one, as it showed just how dangerous the Heels can be when Bullock, McAdoo, and Hairston all get it going at the same time. They had 57 points combined in yesterday's game alone. Just a little unsettling for the Heels in yesterday's win. Again, going back to free throw shooting, they attempted just 10 free throws as a team for the whole game and made only 6 of them, so that's still an issue for them.
Julian, I think you hit the nail on the head right there. When they're playing in the NCAA tournament, they're going to be playing better teams, and then games are going to be closer. They're going to have to hit those free throws. It's honestly a dead-end road. I mean, eventually, we know they're not going to win the national championship, or it's a long shot if that, and that's the biggest problem. Will they be able to have those close, will they be able to keep those close leads? I mean, this year they're 3-4 in games decided by less than 10 points.
So they've improved, but haven't made all the improvements that they need to. Well, stick around, guys, because we'll have you on later to discuss in which round they'll face that tough competition in the NCAA tournament.
It's not the ideal start to rivalry week. The women's basketball team fell to Duke at Cameron Indoor Sunday, 58-65. The crowd was ready for the Heels, but Carolina's seniors were unfazed by the Crazies. Tiara Ruffin-Pratt led the team with 16 points. Krista Gross had 10 points and a team-high 12 rebounds. But those stats meant nothing to the Blue Devils, who outshot the Tar Heels 38% to 30%. In the second half, while Tia Roll tried to add some points to the score sheet, but scored only 9 points before fouling out. That even point distribution shows what head coach Sylvia Hatchell is calling a balanced UNC team.
We're so balanced that we had 16 weeks of ACC awards and we hadn't had a player of the week yet. 16 weeks. And we finished tied for second. We hadn't had a player of the week yet.
Jennifer Brodish was in enemy territory for the game Sunday and joins us now live in the studio. So Jennifer, UNC lost to Duke with a 21-point margin in February, but last night it was a little bit closer. UNC only lost by 7. So did Carolina just improve that much over the past few weeks, or?
Well, they've definitely had a better defense, Madison. They hold most opponents to under 60 points, and they managed to hold Duke to 65 points. Duke had 29 turnovers, which led to 20 of UNC's 58 points.
So in what areas did the Tar Heels excel then?
Well, they really excelled in rebounding. Offensively, they out-rebounded the Blue Devils 28 to 16. Duke's head coach, Joanne P. McCallie, has an explanation for that statistic.
They had 28 offensive rebounds. I mean, that can't be. That's not. Even though that's what they do, they shoot, miss, and try to get it a lot of times. We've got to do a better job.
Well, that doesn't sound too promising. So what can Tar Heel fans expect out of the Heels at the ACC tournament?
Well, they tied for second in the ACC, and they lost the coin toss to Maryland, so they got the 3rd seed. So Friday, they will play against UVA or Boston College. They really need to step up their offense, and they need to make sure that Roll and McDaniels can't get into foul troubles if they want to beat teams like Maryland and Duke.
Well, they have 4 more days of practice to improve their shooting before game time in Greensboro. Thanks, Jennifer. That was Jennifer Brodish reporting live from the studio.
The women's tennis team has already won a national championship.
And the Heels would love to serve up another one. A look at the Tar Heels winning weekend when Sports Extra returns.
Connect with us online by liking the Sports Extra Facebook page and following us on Twitter at @SportsExtra_UNC.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Or you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Pack.
Red state, blue state, vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Night owl.
Early bird.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live.
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad
One more
today.
time. Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
The baseball team remains undefeated after 3 victories in the Astros Foundation College Classic. Friday, the Diamond Heels topped 12th-ranked Rice 2-1. Kent Emanuel pitched 7 strong innings. Carolina beat California 11-5 Saturday. Landon Lassiter went 4 for 6. And on Sunday, the Heels beat 30th-ranked Texas A&M 14-2. Carolina improved to 10-0 for the 3rd time since 2000. And a near-perfect weekend for the softball team. The Heels dropped just one game at the Wilson D. Marini Invitational. Carolina won 4 games, losing only to third-ranked Arizona State. The Heels are 15-6 and will be back in Chapel Hill for 4 games this week.
The top-ranked women's tennis team swept Winthrop and ECU Saturday morning, improving to 12-1 this season. 5 Tar Heels played and won twice in singles Saturday, and every Tar Heel won efficiently. In straight sets, Carolina just lost 1 double game the entire day. Coach Brian Calbus knows that's how his team will have to keep playing moving into the outdoor season.
Target on our backs. We're #1 in the country. You know, we won the indoors, and you know a lot of these teams are going to want to, have a lot of motivation to have a significant win over us to kind of, propel them in their season.
The Heels host 24th ranked Baylor on Sunday.
The men's swimming team is among the best in the conference. Carolina competed in the ACC championships this weekend. Tom Luxinger is the 7th male swimmer in ACC history to win the 200-meter butterfly 3 times in a career. The senior led the Heels to a 3rd-place finish at the conference championships this weekend. Carolina has now finished among the top 3 at the ACC championships in 59 out of 60 league championships.
You've seen Carolina athletes perform, but do you know what makes the UNC athletic program tick?
Well, Georgia Walker introduces you to Allison Hill, the 2013 Carolina Athletic Association president.
It's no secret Carolina boasts one of the best athletic programs in the country. What people don't know is who's behind it all. The Carolina Athletic Association, or CAA, handles the logistics of all the sporting events on campus. The recently elected CAA president, Allison Hill, is thrilled to get started.
I was really excited when I heard that I won. I've been putting in a lot of work. I've been so involved with athletics since I've been here, so this is just really great. And I have a lot of experience that I believe I'll be able to use to help me as president.
The CAA has made its mark on campus by organizing staple events such as Late Night with Roy and Homecoming. Before being elected president, Hill worked as the sports marketing co-chair. She gives out promotional gifts during baseball games to encourage attendance. The current CAA president, Jonathan Flynn, is most proud of the ticketing policies the group has implemented.
I think we've always had different means for students to get tickets besides just the lottery, and the lottery itself has been an evolution. I think we've had 3 different policies now in my 4 years, and just been trying to make it better to please more students and keep more happy.
Hill is ready to get going.
Well, in general, I'm just really looking forward to the new year and just really, like I said earlier, just bringing the students more together with the athletes and also with the community.
In addition to her new duties, Hill makes time to practice her shot as the JV basketball manager. In Chapel Hill, I'm Georgia Walker.
Hill officially becomes the new CAA president April 2nd.
A heartbreaking loss for the men's lacrosse team. The Heels almost upset second-ranked Notre Dame this weekend, but Carolina gave up the final 4 goals of the game to lose in the 3rd overtime, 10-9. It was the first multiple overtime game for the Heels since UNC beat Navy in 6 overtimes 11 years ago. Carolina is now 2-2 and will take on Princeton this weekend. The women's lacrosse team fared a bit better this weekend, beating 17th-ranked Penn 11-5. It was the first time the Heels had a victory at Penn. Juniors led the way for the Heels. Taylor George scored 4 goals, and Brittany Coppa added 3. Carolina's won 4 in a row and opens up conference play this weekend versus Virginia at Fetzer Field. For many UNC athletes, being offered a scholarship is a coveted honor.
And one Tar Heel on the track and field team literally jumped at the chance to come to Carolina. Evan Badler has the story.
Dylan Moore certainly isn't a native of Chapel Hill, and he says people remind him of that all the time.
I've gotten, are you from England? Are you from, where are you from?
Moore grew up in the heart of Boston before attending American International College for a year in Springfield, Massachusetts. After earning All-American status as a freshman, Moore chose North Carolina rather than schools like Virginia and LSU because of the school's prestige.
There's no, kid or anybody from my area, from where I grew up, that went to, any pristine school. Most of them barely went to community college.
Moore appreciates what it means to be a Tar Heel and likes where he is in his life right now. But where would he be without Carolina?
On the streets, like I was all through middle school and beginning of high school. Would there be life is a better question. I mean, it got me out of a situation where there wasn't anything for me there.
Moore does his best to make the most of his opportunity, devoting hours to perfecting his craft. Moore has improved by listening to coaches and watching competition film. even setting a new personal best in the high jump of more than 7 feet.
I want to bring what I have to bring to the table and not have to settle for what's already at the table. I bring my own packed lunch.
As he moves forward with his track career and his life, Moore will do his best to stay hungry. In Chapel Hill, I'm Evan Badler.
Moore will put his skills to the test when the Heels open up the outdoor season March 22nd. But one of his teammates, Krishawn Williams, will be competing this weekend at the Indoor Track Championships in Arkansas. And she joins us live in the studio. So first of all, when are you heading out to Arkansas?
We leave on Wednesday, so I'm pretty excited.
So a couple more days of hard training before you head out there?
Not necessarily hard training, just more so to prepare my body. So kind of easy stuff so my legs are fully functional. So I can, go out there and perform to the best of my ability.
And what are your chances this weekend in Arkansas?
Well, I have a pretty good chance of getting on the podium. To win, I'd probably have to jump maybe about a foot farther, but, it's been done in the past. So I'm staying extremely optimistic, and I'm just going to go out there and listen to my coaches and do everything I can.
And what's it going to be like? Are you going to be a little bit lonely being the only Tar Heel out there?
I probably will be extremely lonely. I've never traveled by myself. I've been running track since I was 7 years old, and since then I've always had someone to accompany me besides a coach. So it probably will be a little bit lonely.
And so you're a senior. So you've got, how's track going to go for you out after college? Do you have any plans for that?
I would definitely like to continue to train, hopefully, 2016. But it definitely depends on how my final outdoor season goes. If I could get picked up by a sponsor, then I would love to continue training.
Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
That was Krishawn Williams live in the studio. The men's basketball team is on a roll.
But does that mean Carolina fans can expect big things from the big dance? We'll preview tournament time and March Madness after the break.
Suis la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence. Dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Thanks. You believe this guy?
Are you trying to start a wildfire?
Sorry. Pass the honey?
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. Let's catch them before it's too late. To start helping students in your community, visit boostup.org.
Ever wonder who's behind the animations and video boards at the Smith Center or Carmichael Arena?
Tio Monteval found out. He introduces you to the new media department.
What do a highlights video on GoHills.com, the images and banners running on the video boards at the Dean Dome, and Coach Williams' television shows have in common? The UNC New Media Department is responsible for all of them.
We're in charge of all the live video in-game on the video boards that you see in this Dean Smith Center, Kenan Stadium, Boshemer Stadium, Henry Stadium, and Carmichael Arena. Then we also do a lot of the video on GoHeels.com, so any features that you see on there, highlights of past games, and we also do live video for GoHeels.com of some of our Olympic sports events.
New Media came into being in 2007. It now has 6 full-time workers, 3 temporary staff members, and some part-time working students. From their main control room in the Dean Smith Center, they record, click, and send live actions or fan slogans onto the boards. They also produce live games for ESPN3 and ESPNU. Assistant Director Kai Lang says providing fans and families with live performances of the Tar Heel teams is a gratifying part of the work.
We're enabling parents of our student athletes as well as fans that normally wouldn't be able to come to Chapel Hill and watch a game. You know, if they're in China, if they're in California, wherever they are, if they have access to the internet, they're able to watch our athletic events and see the people play, and that's that's pretty fulfilling, being able to have that kind of impact.
So thanks to the people in New Media, you'll never have to miss another UNC sporting event. In Chapel Hill, I'm Theo Manval.
You can find a list of upcoming live events on GoHeels.com. Many of the staff members at New Media are graduates of the journalism school.
It's March, which means it's tournament time. So joining us again are Mike Rodriguez and Julian Caldwell. Julian, we'll start off with you. Worst case scenario, UNC loses its next 3 games, first away at Maryland and then against Duke, and then in the first round of the ACC tournament. Do you think they're going to make it to the big dance if that happens?
Madison, in that case, I think you have to count the Heels out of the NCAA tournament completely. At that point, the best resume makers they'd have is a win earlier in the season against NC State, maybe a win earlier against Maryland, and then playing Duke close on the road in a loss. So that just won't be enough to make the tournament.
Okay, well, I'm an optimist. So, Mike, how about the best case scenario? They win their next 2 games and then they take the entire ACC tournament. How great of a seed do you think UNC could get?
They can get as high as a 3 seed, maybe a 4 if they kind of cheat them a little bit. That means they're beating Duke twice, Miami once in the ACC tournament, because they'll play them probably in the semifinals or the finals. And honestly, right now they're ranked 26th in the nation, so that's always a good sign. And if they keep winning, that means they keep moving up in the rankings. I could see them being 18th ranked overall, 18th ranked in the nation, and a 4 seed, maybe a 3.
Well, I'm sure Tar Heel fans hope that Mike is correct in his predictions, not Julian, but stick around and we'll have some more NCAA preview coming up. When this UNC athlete isn't making plays, he's making music.
We'll introduce you to him after the break. Don't forget to tune in to our sister shows, Carolina Week at 5 p.m. every Wednesday on Time Warner 24 or Campus Channel 34, and Carolina Connection at 8:30 every Saturday morning on WCHL 97.9 FM.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes off the bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. The first pitch is fouled between the
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
My dad's one of the producers. He's there tonight.
Bring this one.
There are a few candidates for Player of the Week this week, but the award definitely has to go to Reggie Bullock. The forward had 20 points and 10 rebounds against Florida State, his third double-double of the season and his fifth of his career. He's shooting 44% from three-point land this year, leading the ACC with three-point percentage. There he is hitting one right there. He has 899 career points, but he does more than just score points. He also gets a lot of rebounds. He had 10 rebounds against Florida State, but he also, in the past 3 games, he's had 32 rebounds, an average of 10.2 rebounds per game. Soccer player by day, entertainer by night, almost.
Julian Caldwell introduces you to one soccer player who trades in his jersey and cleats for a turntable and headphones.
In November, senior Daniel Tannous enjoyed his last stint with UNC soccer, but he didn't have to say goodbye to a crowd. He adopted a new one, and he adopted the name DJ Tooney.
The first time ever, performing for anyone, it's just nerve-wracking because there's really nothing that I've ever done before that equates to something like that.
Tannous downloaded his first DJ software 4 years ago. 2 years ago, he got his first gig here at the Thrill, where he DJs regularly in the off-seasons. He says he likes having control of the crowd.
When you DJ, you have some sort of influence on the crowd, whereas when it comes to soccer, it's really hard to influence the crowd unless you're scoring a goal.
As a defender, Tannous doesn't score many goals, but his teammates are often there to cheer on DJ Tooney.
No, they're definitely my biggest fans, no doubt. They're big supporters of me, and every time I'm DJing, I just know they'll be here.
But what does Tannous say his biggest celebration has been thus far?
Definitely winning the national championship. There's very few things I think that I'll ever do, maybe or maybe not, that'll ever equate to something like that.
Tannous is considering continuing to play soccer, but he isn't limiting himself.
I like to see, what else I can be good at and what else I can succeed in, and hopefully that's where, soccer ends and DJ sort of takes off.
And he has an audience waiting. In Chapel Hill, I'm Julian Caldwell.
Tannous usually DJs at least once a week in the spring at the Thrill. And we're going to come back in a few minutes, but we're going to look at some of our March Madness predictions.
Carolina Week at 5 p.m. every Wednesday on Time Warner 24 or Campus Channel 34, and Carolina Connection at 8:30 every Saturday morning on WCHL 97.9 FM.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Mike and Julian are joining us now again in the studio to make some predictions about where the Heels will land in the seedings. All right, Mike, you first.
Call me the optimist, but I'm going to give them a 4 seed. I think they're going to beat Duke at home, and that's all we can really ask for.
All right, Julian, your turn.
Okay, I'm not quite the optimist Mike is, but I'm not the pessimist I was earlier on. I'll give them a 6 seed. I say they beat Maryland and get at least another 2 wins.
Okay, Madison, what's your prediction?
I know I said I was an optimist earlier, but I'm also going to be a little realistic. There are 2 sources that I trust no matter what. One's the Webster's Dictionary, and the other is Lenardi's bracketology. He has us at a 7 seed. Gotta agree with him, so.
I see us somewhere in the middle. March Madness is almost upon us, but I see us getting a 5 seed. You can see that there on the graphic. March Madness is almost upon us, guys. Go to our Facebook page and let us know what you think the Tar Heels will get, what seed they'll get in the NCAA tournament.
Post will be up in just a little bit.
Well, that does it for this edition of Sports Extra. Thanks for tuning in.
We hope to see you again next week. And if you need a reminder why you root for UNC and not Duke, here you go. Good night.